Welcome back to the Ski Summit Show, your insider look at the lifestyle in real estate in Summit County's high country, Colorado, Breckenridge, Frisco, Keystone, Dillon, and Copper Mountain. I'm Matt Dayton, local native and your real estate expert, your guide to Summit County and beyond. This week, we're going to head into a topic that's top of mind for short-term rental owners and potential buyers. So we're going to cover that and what that might look like for you if you're looking for a short-term rental in the mountains, including licensing and short-term rental caps. So if you're buying a condo or townhouse and rental potential, stick around. You'll want to know what's important and may impact your investment. Ever dreamed of living in the heart of the Colorado mountains? Join me, Matt Dayton, Breckenridge native, Olympian, and mountain real estate expert. Here on the Ski Summit Show, we dive into everything you need to know about buying, investing, and living in iconic ski towns like Breckenridge, Frisco, and Keystone. From mountain real estate trends to investment opportunities, we bring you on the inside to help you make the most of your mountain life. Welcome to Ski Show number 136. I'm your host, Matt Dayton. Thank you for joining us for the latest real estate news. I'm joined by Benji, my producer and live stream sidekick. Hey, Benji, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, always a joy. So what do we got going on here in Summit County for the week?
The first thing I have is what's happening, and we're talking about ski area openings around Summit County. It looks like some stuff is going on.
Yes, so we have some resort openings, which is awesome. Keystone opened, they won. There's always like the battle to see who's gonna be the first ski area to open in Summit County. Keystone got it this year. They opened October 25th. So with the white ribbon of death, that's just you got one trail. I think they got Schoolmarm open top to bottom, but actually I heard it's pretty decent. So grab your boards and go check that out. A Basin opened October 26th, so they got beat out by a day. And Breckenridge, Copper Mountain are projected to open about November 7th. Snowpack is definitely below average early season, so be cautious out there. Stay on the groomed trails. Don't try to get off of them because you're going to find there's no snow in there. But early resort openings, this is a positive signal for mountain home market and homeowners that have short-term rentals, which we're going to talk about here as well today. So, but skiers are open, so check them out.
Very cool. Next section that we've got is the news for Summit County. And I guess we're going to be talking about STRs, like you said. So what to expect for short-term rentals in Summit County. Is this for people that are buying out there or like expecting to buy an STR?
Yeah, so this is going to be for people that are buying a short-term rental. If you got to figure out, okay, as far as licensing goes, if you're wanting to get a license to be able to short-term rent your property, this is super important because you got to have that in order to do it. Short-term rent is being less than 30 days. So yeah. So in our resort markets, in our backyard, Breckenridge, Frisco, Silverthorne, Keystone, rental income's long been one of the driving forces behind both second home owners and buying pure investments. But the landscape's changed over the past few years. Licensing, zoning, caps, they matter more than ever. So I'm going to break down how that works in Summit County and what you should check before pulling the trigger on a mountain rental property. So first off, we're gonna look at town of Frisco. That's where I am right now today. So in Frisco, they adopted an ordinance limiting short-term rental licenses to 25% of the housing stock. So 25% of front doors, which equates to about 900 licenses. You can check out more details on the Frisco Town website, but they met that cap in 2023, and then they opened a wait list. So if you purchase a property in Frisco and hope to operate it as a short-term rental, you'll need to either inherit an existing license, that's family inheritance, they are not transferable to another buyer, or you gotta get on a wait list. So that's Frisco. If you're outside of town limits, like unincorporated Summit County, the rules shift. The county has type 1 licenses and type 2 licenses. Type 1 is for full-time residents. So if you live there 9 months out of the year, then it can be your primary residence and qualify for a type 1 license, which is not subject to short-term rental license caps. But if you've got each basin, there's the upper basin, upper Blue Basin, lower Blue Basin, 10 Mile and Snake River. So there are 4 different basins in Summit County. All of the water in Summit County flows north. So if you think Upper Blue Basin, Upper Blue River Basin is going to be south, a little bit backwards, and then Lower Blue River Basin is going to be more towards the north and north of Silverthorne in that area. So on those basins, we got, like Lower Blue Basin, the cap is 550 licenses. As of January 2025, there's 534 Type 2 licenses issued. So if it's not your primary residence, when each basin reaches or exceeds their cap, they open a wait list. So Summit County opened a wait list for Upper Blue Basin, north of Breckenridge, on July 22nd. And you can apply for that. So there's also some things that are called resort zones, which are areas inside of those basins where short-term rental licenses don't apply. Keystone, Copper Mountain, those areas, there's a couple little small zones that are also considered resort zones. And then there's Breckenridge. So breaking down Breckenridge a little bit, they've got a few different types of zones. What you're going to look for Breckenridge is either a Zone 1 type license, where there's lots of licenses available. Zone 2 and Zone 3 are pretty much, you're not going to get a license anywhere in the foreseeable future in those zones. So Zone 1 or resort zones. So Beaver Run condo complex is one of those resort zones. There's Mountain Thunder. There's a few of those in there. So that's something to keep in mind, and we're going to cover one of those Beaver Run listings here later. So anyway, so where we are now in Frisco, new applications for short-term rental licenses are on the wait list. Applicants for 2024 waited about 9 to 12 months, according to the website. Unincorporated Upper Blue Basin currently shows 120 applicants. That's the Lower Blue Basin, 120 applicants. Upper Blue Basin, about 108 applicants as of October 2025. So it could be quite a while for some areas. You could be looking north of 4 years for a number of those in Summit County. Always want to check your jurisdiction. If you have any questions on the short-term rental stuff, if you're looking at specific areas or recommendations for properties that are going to fit that, definitely feel free to reach out to me and I can give you the lowdown.
Do you have a lot of clients that do STRs?
I do. That's, historically, that's been one of the primary reasons that second homeowners buy in this area, because they can really help offset the cost of their ownership with short-term rentals. So they want to be able to use it, but they also want to be able to rent it. So the short-term rentals are perfect for that.
Yeah. And that's like their common gripes. Is that like stuff that they gripe about a lot?
Yeah, it's definitely, there's lawsuits out there right now that are in the works as far as against these short-term rental restrictions, because they obviously, it affects their property values. If you can't get a short-term rental license, that definitely wipes out a lot of your potential buyers. Areas like Wilderness near Silverthorne, lots of condos up in there. We've seen that impact the values up there significantly. So people definitely get upset when the government tries to tell them what they can and can't do with their properties, understandably.
I totally get that. There's a lot of rules in here. The fact that you have to inherit them through family, brother.
Oh, yeah, they're not transferable. I mean, they're on top of it. So you've really just, your best hope is either make sure you buy in a short-term rental zone, or if, the prices are less expensive in places where you can't get that short-term rental license. So, and you can always do medium-term or longer-term rentals, anything 30 days plus. So if that works into your equation, then it's worth looking outside of those short-term rental zones to see if you can find a property that fits your needs.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that moves us into our market in a minute, and it looks like you're going to be showing us some graphs. Let me get my head out.
Yes, I always love showing graphs. Here's the first graph. So sales by week, just to kind of look at what we've been seeing trending over the past couple months here. But we saw, as in September here, actually pretty decent for sales by week. We saw those trending a little bit above 23 and 24. Prior to that, definitely the numbers and the feeling was that things were really slow. July and August, typically some bigger property selling times up here in the mountains, were slower. Properties sitting on market a lot more. So the average days on market up 15% from previous year up here. You can see that. But the number of sales previous year, 14%. So we're, encouraging news. We're seeing some things trending in the right direction there. So as far as our market right now, so there was a Summit Daily article. I don't know if you have that where you can.
Oh yeah, pull it up real quick.
So this article basically is talking about the Colorado housing market and how it's actually the healthiest it's been since the pandemic, according to the daily and the interviews that they had. Buyers have more leverage and choices than they've had in years, but the picture varies across mountains. Each town tells a little bit of a different story. Inventory is up statewide about 22% from June of 2024. In some county, the month's supply has climbed to 8.6. So anything over 5 months of inventory is typically going into a buyer's market side of things. The average days on market's now around 85, so that's up more than 40%. But homes still in the market. Prime locations, especially those strong rental potential and resort access, they continue to move kind of quickly. So we've got 2 markets right now. So market A, single family homes under $1 million, or property near the slopes with solid rental potential. These are going to move fast, and sometimes we're seeing even multiple offers. I just put a contract together on a property here this last week. Saw 3 offers on that property. 2 of them were cash over asking. So, but the property was a great value and priced really well. So higher priced homes in less desirable spots, limited rental draw. These are going to be sitting longer, and sellers are becoming a little bit more flexible and motivated. For buyers, when something checks all the boxes, great value, strong location, maybe it's got short-term rental, maybe it's just a very good price, I'd say move quickly because we're definitely seeing those come off the market fairly fast. And I don't know if I'd get caught up lowballing on some of those. If it's a good deal, just recognize it for a good deal. For sellers, if your home's lingering on the market longer, this is a season that may call for a sharper strategy. Winter ski season's on the horizon, and timing and pricing matter more than ever. So that's the lowdown for the market in a minute.
All right. Well, that moves us into the listing of the week. And this week we are looking at 631 Village Road, and that is in Breckenridge.
Yes. So since we're talking about short-term rental properties, this is in the Beaver Run condos, and it's right at the base of the ski slopes. And you got easy access to Peak 9 chairlifts. You got the quad ski lift right there. You can see all the ski runs. So you're super easy access to get right on the chairlift. You got ski lockers right there. You got great amenities with pools and hot tubs and conference centers. So this is a great property for short-term rentals. This one in particular is a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,127 square feet, listed for $985. So you've got just awesome complex, all the hot tubs, and you can see the ski slopes right back out there. Fun game rooms for the kids.
Giant chess.
Oh yeah, I've got some good memories. Relatives would come into town, stay at Beaver Run. We're always psyched when they did that because the amenities are so great.
How long has Beaver Run been around for?
81 is when they built it.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. So it's been around a while. There's Peak 9, Peak 8, Peak 10 right in the background. So
what do they call it?
The that's a quad super chair. So you take 4 people up at a time pretty quick. You don't even have enough time to get your legs recovered.
I went to the state fair with my son and my girlfriend over the weekend, and we went on one of those chairlifts across everything. Oh man, it was terrifying.
Yeah, fortunately they got bars, like they come down, you're not falling off. They didn't used to have those when I was a kid.
Well, my son would like spin around and it would shake the whole thing, It was scary.
You're like, sit still, man.
Yeah.
You do not want to fall off a chairlift.
No, that's a good looking condo. Yeah. I like this one.
It is a great looking condo. So, yeah, great views, great setting. 631 Village Road in Breckenridge. Check it out. Short-term rental ready.
All right. Well, that's all I've got for this week.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Benji. Appreciate you being here. So thank you for joining us for the Ski Summit Show. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a like, thumbs up, consider subscribing. If you have any questions or interested in getting more information from us, reach out and comment below. Website, skisummithomes.com for more useful information. Thanks so much for being here, and we hope to see you in the mountains soon. Take care.